Those joining from the Facebook group that are not in the community, I appreciate you guys hopping on this call. Those in the community get access to these calls twice a week. We do live
Those
training
joining from the Facebook
on
group that are not in the
Mondays. We
community.
do a live Q&A, and then on Thursdays we do a specific lesson. Today, we're actually going to be discussing business funding. All right, so I have my partner Noel with me. He specializes in business credit, business funding, anything in that space when it comes to credit, having access to that. He is the guy. He goes by the Real Credit King on social media. And today we are going to be discussing how you guys can get access to this and the benefits of actually having business funding, because I can attest to it myself that when you have access to these funds, you can boost your surplus funds business. All right. So this can entail now having a budget towards virtual assistants that can help with research automation, also getting callers that can help contact your leads, a budget for mailers, a budget for anything to basically kickstart your surplus funds business. If you have been trying to do this by yourself, maybe you've hit some roadblocks, but with a team, you could possibly scale and close more deals. So we're going to be discussing that today. Very important call. I see that we are live on YouTube as well. We have 70 people on the Zoom call, and I believe on YouTube we have, let's see how many viewers we got. 12 people. All right, awesome. So we got about 83 people. I went ahead and clicked mute all. So Noel, go ahead and unmute yourself and let's get after it.
What's going on, everybody? It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I go by the Noel Verdejo on social media. Just like Eric said, they call me the Real Credit King. And just to give you a little background about how long I've been doing this, I've been doing this full time since 2018. So that's going on a little bit over 7 years, and I've helped over 6,000 people acquire their dreams. What does that mean? In my industry, it means getting them capital, getting them a home, helping them purchase maybe a car, maybe as little as helping them get an apartment, because nowadays, they run credit to get an apartment or rent a house. Credit is very serious. So I got into this business, just to give you a long story short. I've been bankrupt 3 times, guys, in my life. I'm 46 years old. I lost it 3 times. I'm an entrepreneur, trying to make it. And, we finally hit it in 2018. And here we are now. So I know what a lot of you have gone through. If you've gone through anything like that, I feel your pain, but there's a way to get out of it. A lot of people don't know that there's laws, there's rules on how credit works, and once you know those things, you could get it off, removed, deleted, whatever you want to call it, and get what you want. So I'm here today, to explain how I can help you guys specifically for this business, a surplus funds. But just remember that credit is for more than just this. You could use it for anything that requires credit. So me and Eric were together this weekend for lunch, and we spoke about this. And this was a great idea. We were talking it for a while. We finalized it this weekend, and here we are. And what I want to tell you guys is that exactly what he just started the conversation with. If you guys have bad credit or have a couple blemishes that's keeping your score down, or you're maxed out and you don't have bad credit, it's just that you're maxed out and your score is too low. I know pretty much every way on how to get your credit score where it needs to be for you to acquire the funds to grow your business. So what I mean by that is, and to give you an example, if you're maxed out, we can add you on some authorized trade lines, right? And I'll go more into detail a little bit about that later. Or I could get you a loan to pay off your credit cards to upset that balance and get your credit score up. Or sometimes if you have business credit or you have good enough, a couple little trade lines, we could move your money, shift your money to over to the business side, so it's not affecting you. There's a lot of plays here. If you have a bankruptcy, I've deleted thousands of bankruptcies, foreclosures, repossessions, judgments, late payments. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be removed from your credit. Can it be done overnight? No. But how does 30 to 90 days, maybe in some cases 120 days sound? That's not too long. And a lot of my clients, depending on the package they pick, get it done in less than 30 business days. And then we go ahead and help them acquire let's say, for example, we're just going to talk about money, capital here, right? I hold your hand, me or someone in my teams will hold your hands to guide you to get the capital. What I mean by that is we take pride in studying banks underwriting guidelines. So for example, if we fix your credit and your credit is a 780 on one bureau on TransUnion, a 730 on Experian, and a 700 on the other bureau, I'm gonna want to get you approved with your highest credit score so you get the maximum funds and get you the lowest interest rate and get you the longest term, meaning years. Instead of a 5-year loan, it's a 6-year loan, 7-year loan. So it could be a smaller payment. So that's what we specialize here at Fresh Start Financial Group. And like I said, we've helped a lot of people. And I want to know who here has maybe an issue where this will help them because this is what this is for. Not only to grow your business because they don't teach us this. I don't. There's a lot of people on here, but I'm 46, like I said, and my parents did not teach me that I could leverage my credit to grow a business.
Yeah,
Now,
so if you
Eric
yeah,
is
you guys in the comment section on YouTube and on Zoom, if you guys are in the need of business funding and improving your credit score, go ahead and comment the word credit in the chat. We want to see how many people are actually ready to take advantage of an opportunity to increase their credit score, get funding, and then actually have access to funds because I can speak on this myself, guys. You guys know I'm a serial entrepreneur. Majority of my investments, I'm going to use credit for that. All right. At the beginning, I made early mistakes of using personal credit. And when you guys use business credit, all right, your business funding, that can help you, that can boost you. And Noel has a lot of insight, knowledge. He's been at this business for quite some time. He's helped a lot of individuals get funding. So we want to hear what questions you guys have when it
yes.
comes to funding. And we want to give you the outline on what we can do because, today's goal is to fix that issue. There's been quite a few people who have emailed me and said, hey, I want to get access to business funding. I don't know how. And now we finally have the opportunity to discuss that. So great. We have people coming in credit. That's awesome. I see it on
OPM, whoever people
the
type in
chat.
OPM, they know it, they understand it. Yep.
Other people's money. Awesome, awesome. So let's start with questions, guys. We can get right
Yes.
into this. What questions do you guys have in terms of this? I see Joseph's hand is raised. Go ahead.
So my question to you, Noel, is are you strictly just loans or do you also do grants as well?
So I strictly myself do loans, but when it comes to grants, I do have an associate that I hand them over. So let's say, for example, I did work on your credit and then you wanted to shoot towards a grant, we could pass you along there. The same thing to a mortgage company, the same thing to a car dealership in your state or in another state. It all depends. But yes.
So does that affect if a person goes either a loan or a grant, does their credit affect them on both ends of the spectrum, or how will that work?
What do you mean by that? I didn't understand.
So if a person applies for a grant, will their credit be a factor of this as well, along if they do like credit or as long if they go along the credit lines as well? Do they does your credit affect both of them if you're doing a grant or a line of credit?
So, if I understood the question right, what you're asking me is if you are going to qualify for a grant, is credit something that they're going to look at? Or are you asking me if you get a grant, is it going to go on both report? It's going to go on your credit.
I'm asking if they have to pull your credit for a grant and for
Okay.
a loan. And
So
if
it
they
depends on the
do,
grant. It depends on
okay,
the grant. Now I understood your question. So your question was if you're applying for a grant or you want to get a grant, are they going to look at your credit report?
that's correct.
All right. So it all depends on the grant. It really does. So there is some grants like SBA loans, you can't have a felony. So and they also look at credit. So it all depends on the type of grant, but there are grants out there for people even with bad credit.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Joseph.
Awesome. So Perry said, I'm interested in a business line of credit. So that's a great generic question. And Noel, I think that you can really go into layers on this. Like, first
Yeah.
of all, the best business lines of credit, what you need to do in order to get approved, like the 2 years plus of the age corporation, things like that. So let's get into that one.
All right, so if you want to get a business line of credit, there's multiple ways to do it, and we could start with like Eric said. If you have a business that's aged, an aged business means it's 24 months or older, and you got to have some trade lines on there. And it depends. Every bank has a different guideline. Some banks might say, "Hey, we want you to have at least 4 positive accounts." Some might say they want you to have 10 positive accounts reporting on your business. Then there's another way that you could do it. You could get a business line of credit, which it's the easiest way is UPGing for it. So you're personally guaranteeing, meaning you're co-signing for that line of credit. And that's another way. Then there's, corporate credit. Corporate credit is when your business is strong enough alone, and you could get it, which is usually the toughest ones to get, but it's very possible. So those are the different levels of line of credit. Now, a lot of people say they want a line of credit, but I don't, people don't understand that business credit is so different from personal. For example, you could have okay, so here we go. These are all business credit cards. There's about 45 of them, right? Now, I have about a 750,000 that I could use on here. This is not on my personal credit at all. At all. How did I do this? Not overnight. Did I PG in the beginning? Yes, because I didn't know the proper structure of a business. A year or two later, I figured out how to properly structure a business, and now I get credit cards solely under the business without having my social. So there's different levels to get you the capital you need or the business line of credit that you need.
Perfect. So touching on that, Noel, how would that roadmap be? Because I'm sure a lot of people on the call right now are probably in that newer stage. So if one of the qualifications is to have a 24-month or older LLC, what are some ways that they can get access to that in order to kickstart in the correct path? Because a lot of people on the call right now have a brand new LLC or haven't even been incorporated before.
So I would start there's other ways and there's like shelf corps and stuff like that. We're not gonna, that's a different level, but I would recommend for your type of business, what you guys are doing is if there is any blemishes on your personal credit, let's get that handled because we could get it done pretty quick. And then you PG for the first couple credit cards. And then after you have enough credit cards on that business, let that business do its own thing. Like I was just on a call about an hour ago with a gentleman that has excellent business credit, and I got him 4 car loans through Bank of America in less than an hour, and while we applied together on the computer on FaceTime. So it's doable because his business was already there, and he already PG'd enough accounts in the past to make it strong enough to get 4 cars for his Uber business.
Okay, awesome. So it sounds like cleaning up the personal credit side first and use that to segue into your business funding journey, whether that starts with the UPG, which is the personal guarantor, or going to a aged shelved
Shelf
corporation.
Corp. And that's
Okay,
expensive. So if you already, if the money's not there, you shouldn't even look at a Shelf Corp
yeah,
because guys, they could run you thousands of dollars. It's
for
not
sure.
guaranteed. It's a lot harder work. I would do it the original way. Get
Yeah,
your
and
personal right, and then from there,
that's honestly great, guys, because if you clean up your personal credit, now you're on the path to financial independence. Because in order to really be financially free, you should not be using your own money. You should be using other people's money, credit, things that you can have rewards. All right, so that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Noel. So let's jump into the best type of business credit cards. All right, so
oh,
now
I
that
love it.
we've learned what business credit is. What are the best cards that they should be applying for, looking to do?
So I'm a big fan personally of American Express. American Express is my favorite. Why? Guys, using a debit card or writing a check or using cash, you get no perks. But when you have American Express and Chase are my two favorites. They got the most rewards out there. Like I fly for free. I haven't paid for a plane ticket in 4 or 5 years. We stay in hotels for free, or maybe just pay a little bit amount, 10% of what the whole total was. But there's big perks. You're spending the money anyway. Why not use it on credit? I personally pay everything that I can on credit. If I could pay my mortgage on credit, I would because I'm gonna get something for that payment back versus you paying writing a check and stuff like that. So American Express Platinum, American Express Gold, Chase Sapphire, Chase Business Inc. Chase Sapphire business. I mean, the Freedom Card through Chase, Barclays Bank's Black Card. It's not the American Express Black Card, but it's still a great Black Card. If you fly a lot, any business, Delta, American Airlines, JetBlue, they all have a credit card with a bank. Those, if you fly, you want that. You want those perks. You get bigger perks. When it comes to what else we have for business, we have oh, let me just look through my cards. This is one of my favorites right here too, Capital One Sparks. So this one right here, I have $80,000 on it. This is a great card. This is a cash reward card that I chose. This one, so I used the cash to pay back some of the bills. I also said Chase Sapphire. I said that one earlier, one of my favorites right here. Then I was telling you about the American Platinum. This one, great card. Eric could talk about it. He got
That's
one.
my favorite. Yeah.
That's your favorite, right? Then we have a gold. I have another gold, and I could just keep going, guys. If you everyone uses Amazon, you need your Amazon American Express business card. Like that, almost everything you buy through Amazon is a write-off. Who's to say that the toilet paper you're buying on Amazon, you can't write it off? Yes, you can. Yes, so there's a lot. So, and we could keep going. American Express Blue, Chase, American Express. So look, I told you about the black card, the Barclays Black Card. This is a great card to have. I love this card. And then there's just Navy Federal. Then we could talk about credit unions. People sleep on credit unions. They think that
Yeah.
credit unions are not strong because they're local, they're small, they don't really advertise, they don't really have. That's a lie.
So
Navy,
let's wait, let's bring it in because you're cooking right now,
I
Noel.
could
Wait,
keep going, yeah.
before we move forward, we're doing the journey, all right? So we clean up the personal side, we get the personal guarantor or the H corporation. Now we got access to business funding. The best cards to start with, we got the Amex, we got Chase, we got Sapphire. Me, guys, personally, when I first started, I started with the Blue Business on Amex. All right. Started with a $5,000 credit limit. After that, they gave me access. I got the Delta card, like Noel recommended. Got the Delta card. Then after that, I get an email, boom, you're approved for the Platinum. There's an annual fee, but it's worth it. So then I start getting all these cards. Then I got Chase. And then now it's like, wow, you went from having a $5,000 credit limit to now hundreds of thousands available on a credit card. So it's going to be a journey, guys. But right now, I hope that you guys are, yeah, we got people saying that you're cooking right now.
I
We,
appreciate
we
it.
need to take notes, guys. We need to take
Yeah,
notes.
take notes. I'm gonna say a lot
Yeah,
of things, guys, that is just free knowledge, that is just being me
yeah,
studying. So, credit cards, man, they taught. I mean, they taught me. Let me speak for myself. They taught me wrong. If you have a credit card, you shouldn't use it if you don't have the money. If I have the money, why do I need the credit card? That makes no sense. But when I was younger, it was what my parents taught me. Credit is power. Credit's what's gotten me everything I have. Guys, if you check me out on social media, the real credit king, one word, you will see I have toys, and I'm not saying it to floss. I finance it all. I lease it all. I don't own any of it. Why? I could write it off because I put it in videos on YouTube, on Instagram. So it's a write-off, and then my kids are enjoying the slingshot, the Maverick, the jet ski, whatever it is. Credit is the best thing out there. And to this day, I don't understand why the United States doesn't teach it to us. When they
yeah. You definitely have to learn it. So now let's segue into the credit unions because that's a whole nother space. Talk
yeah.
about the credit union credit plays.
So let me tell you about what I love about credit unions. Number one, a credit union, when you open an account with them, you are a physical owner. I know it sounds crazy, but you are a member owner. You understand? And that is the reason they're able to give you a higher return. If you have a couple 100,000 in there, you're gonna get more money in that savings account versus one with Chase, who has all the money in the world. Why? Because credit unions are meant to protect their members. Some credit unions, you have to live in the state. There is loopholes around them. Some of them you have to be military. There's loopholes around that, you know. And credit unions, you could do so much. So let's talk about my favorite one, Navy Federal. I'm not military, never been military, not my family. No one in my family is, and I am a member, and my wife's a member. I have three credit cards with them for about $90,000. We have a car loan with them, and then we have, some money, some CDs that we save money or stuff like that. But Navy Federal is a credit union that gave me that 90,000 was really 80 when I first got it. I got it in one day. I applied for one card. I figured I read the underwriting guidelines, and it said that if I apply for a card and get approved, I could apply for two more products. They call them products. And once I got approved for one, I got approved for all three. So credit unions they're old fashioned. And that's what I like about them. There's an underwriting person that's looking at it. Not an AI robot is looking at your application, making the decision that it's going to approve you, yes or no. I don't know if any of you have seen people with an 800 score get declined, but it happens every day. Why? The application wasn't filled right. They went to a commercial bank, like, like I'm gonna say Chase, because Chase is, even though I love them, they also have their bad parts where they don't have a real analyst looking at the person's credit and saying, you know what, this person's a 720, which is a A. It's a A. It's a A. Anything under 700, 700 is an A minus. It's a A. We should give them at least a $5,000 credit card to start a relationship. A credit union will do that. They're big on relationships. And like I said, I'm a member to at least seven of them, seven credit unions. Why? Because they just give me the best interest rates. Any cars that I buy, if I'm not leasing, I'm bringing the check to the dealership. So
Yeah.
credit unions are my favorite, guys. They are.
Awesome. And Noel, you've been slowly giving out these gems, guys. The business relationship with the bank. Can you hit on that? How important is that to just, give us the play? Because you shared
Huge.
that with me, opening the checkings, opening the savings. Now that you've established that, you can get approved. Walk them through that.
So when you start a relationship with a credit union, first of all, you got to become a member. A lot of credit unions let you donate $5, $10 to one of their foundations, and that gets you a member, unless you work for a company that's affiliated with it or you live in the state of the credit union, right? So now, once you become a member, what I recommend every client to do is open up a checking, a savings, and also some type of CD. Why? Credit unions not only look at your credit once you're a member, you start developing an internal score with them. So when you apply in the future, you've been a member with them for 6 months and you have direct deposit and you're using their debit card and you're using their credit card, or you purchased a car, you have an internal score that's calculating that we don't see. You're never going to see it. It's what they see when 6 months or a year later you're trying to borrow $50,000 to buy a business or to get more marketing money or to build a team. And they're going to look at your credit score and then look at your internal credit score, and it's so much easier to get approved. I mean, people that come to me with a 400 credit score, 35 days, 40 days later, we're getting them 30, 40, $50,000, if not more. So that's why a credit union is important. You go also, they'll call you and say, hey, I got a question about your credit. I see you have two open car loans. Why do you have two cars? Like we want to make sure. And then you could tell them the other one's my spouse. I bought it for my son. I wasn't able to co-sign, but I was able to put it in my name. So Chase won't do that. Bank of America is not going to do that. Flagstar, with all these other commercial banks, Wells Fargo, they're not going to call you. They're just going to decline you and say too many inquiries on here. And you're like, but wait a second, I have no inquiries. So that's the thing of the difference. But you need a mixture of both. In the credit game, you need both. That's why I have credit union cards and I have commercial bank cards.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is, the credit unions, they are really going to value you as a member. So they might give you access to certain things that a commercial bank will not. So that's awesome, guys. So let's get back to our picture that we're drawing, our steps, because this is a lot of free game for you guys. Imagine, I put Noel's email when you guys want to work with him, what he can actually do. So we're going to clean up the personal credit, and we'll get into some strategies on that and how Noel's services can do that for you. After you do that, we got the PG. Once we do that, now you get the business cards. You open up a credit union. And to be honest, in this business, like in Florida, I use Suncoast Credit Union for my surplus funds business. You can automatically establish that business relationship because we need a business bank account anyway to do the surplus funds business. Let that be your path. Now, the last thing that I want to hit on, Noel, before we get into these questions, because we got a lot of people in the chat, a lot of hands that are raised. How can getting this business funding improve their business? And what are the best practices that, hey, when you do get access to this business funding, how can you get more? Like, how can you make your business profitable, pay that off, keep your business credit good? Because we don't want to just max out our business funding too and then never get more than that. We want to make sure that we are in a full circle. We're getting credit, we're making plays. We're getting more credit, we're making plays.
So that's a very good question, Eric. So the good thing about business credit, and I guess it's like a lot of people don't know, it's a big secret. It's completely different than how personal credit works. Personal credit, You could be at 800 today, max out all your credit cards, and then you're a 599 and you can't get nothing even though you don't have nothing negative. Your score dropped because of utilization, correct? That doesn't exist in the business side, guys. In the business side, you could have five $20,000 credit cards maxed out and you will get approved for another one and another one. That's the whole different game. Also, business credit, they it's not a eight 500 to 850 credit score. Actually, they got four bureaus, guys. So just so they got Experian Business, which if you're at 80, you're basically at 850, right? You got Dun and Bradstreet, which you want to be at 80 and above. You got Equifax Business, where you want to be a 450 and above, and then you have Business FICO, which is the one SBA runs for the gentleman Joseph that asked about grants and stuff like that. Is the SBA one, it's the FICO one they run. That one you have to be a 170. So these are the business credit scores. And then me and my team know when your credit is done or and we look at your business credit if you have any, or if you don't, we know by looking at your credit, hey, we're gonna send you, hey Joseph, do me a favor, go to us Space Coast Credit Union and apply for this specific card and make sure this is what you put in there. You're gonna get approved. So that's basically the difference. With business, there is no maxing out. I mean, you physically are maxing it out, but the banks don't look at it like that. They care about business. How many accounts does this company have that they've been paying for how long? 4 years, and they got 13 credit cards. Even though they all maxed out, give them the 15th, the 14th, and 15th credit card. So there's a big difference. Credit was really invented for business. That's what credit card companies want. They want to give credit cards to businesses more than just regular people.
Awesome. Yeah. And I saw somebody in the comment section said that they work for ViStar Credit Union and
Oh,
they have great business products, but they require at least a 680. So this is very important because we're talking about cleaning up that personal side. And Noel, you touched on something that I think a lot of you viewers have heard before, the SBA loans. So can you touch on how once we clean up the personal credit, get access to a SBA loan, what type of products are out there? How much can they get? Because I've seen some SBA loans that if you guys get access to this, surplus funds can skyrocket and you can do a lot of things.
SBA is a whole totally different animal, guys. That's who you that should be your main goal when you get your credit fixed and you get your business credit going. Why? You could get you there's a SBA 7, it's the SBA 7A Express loan. That one goes up to 150,000 and they ask for minimum documents, right? But there is another one that goes to up to $2 million. Now that's a heavy loan that you could get from the government. You could get up to 20 years to pay it back at a very low interest rate. This is why I love the SBA. And now in the last year and a half, I've been getting a lot of people because SBA is becoming more popular. People are looking into it, TikTok, social media. They get into here. What is this SBA? What is this? And after COVID, the SBA really blew up because they gave a lot of people that EIDL COVID loan if you have businesses and stuff like that. So SBA would be always my first choice if my business can get a loan through because it's in the six figures, if not seven figures.
Amazing. Yeah. So SBA, what are some of the requirements that they're looking for that?
So definitely the business to get the big money, you have to have the business for 24 months. That's the number one thing. They won't even look at you without that. If you
Exactly.
know automatic decline, you can have the best credit in the world, you can have excellent business credit, but if the business is 23 months old and you applied, it's going to get declined. It's not going to happen. So
Okay.
that's number one thing. Then, but once your business is over 24 months and you have six trade lines on there, which is, guys, it's very easy to get them. I'm gonna give you another free gem for all you guys that want to build business credit. Go to nav.com, create that account, and answer every question, and it's gonna help you to figure out where you at with your business, if you have any type of score, because some people think they don't, but they do. So that's the whole thing with SBA. That their biggest thing is they want to see an established business.
And then what about your personal credit? What do we
Personal credit. Okay, so personal credit, you could be as low as a 620 sometimes.
I've seen
680 is
that,
the
yeah.
sweet spot, but okay, when I say these scores, guys, I'm not talking about a 620 with a repo. That's not going to work. It's like a 620 just because it's a 620 because you might not have too many accounts or you might be maxed out on your personal cards. That type of 620 will work. But if
Yeah.
you have a 620 and a repossession, no, that's not
And
gonna work.
what about employees? Do you need a certain amount of number of employees?
Sometimes depending on the loan, you need 6 employees. I seen as the minimum is on some of them. If you're looking for the millions, you better have 30, 40, excuse me, 50 employees.
Okay.
Guys, your
Awesome.
VAs are employees. If you got VAs, they are
Uh,
employees. You
yeah.
can employ your kids, for $1,000 a month and not pay taxes on it. There's a lot of ways around it.
Okay. And then last one. This is something that a lot of people don't know about. Getting access like Chase, where you get a business credit card with 0% interest in the first X amount of months. Talk about how they can get access to that.
So the way that one works, let's go to the personal side because that's the easiest one for me to explain. On the personal side, you just need to have a very good credit score. You have to have a minimum of 4 accounts. They could be open or closed. If you're at 850 with 2 credit cards, you're not going to get it. So let's say you have over 4 accounts, open or closed. You're over a 720. You could get a 0%. For example, as a matter of fact, this young lady, I got her a $23,000 limit today, business ink card, a Chase ink card, and she got 18 months. That's a year and a half of 0%. And she did that.
Now,
I'm gonna tell you the story.
one second. Let's just stop right there so they can digest that. $23,000, 18 months, 0%. You guys imagine how you could apply that to the surplus funds business, giving yourself a year and a half, and you have 23,000 that you can invest in all of your marketing, all of your staff, and you can really propel. You close 2 surplus deals, you can even pay that off and then get access to even more.
Correct. I mean, she was very happy. And this funny, we're talking about her. Her business is only 23 months old. Next month in August, it becomes 2 years. So I got her one card with her PG in, but next month, we're going to apply for cards just under the business and the SBA loan because her business turns 2 years old in the middle of August. But it's incredible, guys. A lot of banks got 18 months, they got a year. And the most common is between 12 and 18 months of 0%. You could do so much. That is a free loan. That's the way I look at it. I could use it, pay it, use it, pay it, and I'm not paying a penny more. And in most cases, you're getting a reward. When you get a $23,000 credit card, 25,000, 20,000, they're gonna give you a special. Like I got 0%, and if you spend 3,000 on your first 90 days, we're gonna give you $750. That's a free $750 that you're gonna get just for using $3,000. I'm pretty sure you could spend $3,000 in 90 days on something you were gonna spend it anyway and get 750 back plus the 0%. There's so much competition out there with these banks that this is what they're doing. And someone said ViStar. I know I could keep going, guys, but whoever said ViStar, a very good credit union. The only thing is they're in Florida and in Georgia, but they're giving out $25,000 credit cards like nothing. And a credit line of 20,000. You could walk in there and get it with a simple 730 credit score on TransUnion.
Perfect. Awesome. Now you said a simple 730 score. There's probably viewers who are like, I don't know, that really isn't simple. I'm in the 600s, maybe even 500s. What can they do to get out of that hole? So I went ahead and put the link to your service, Noel, in
Okay.
the chat and also on YouTube. Tell all the viewers how that process is going to look once they get started with you.
All right, so that link that Eric posted up there, guys, it's for you to fill out. And what that link does is it lets me see all three of your bureaus. Now, it's not going to give me your username and password once you create it. You have to email it to me and say, hey, I just filled out the link. Here's my username and password. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to review in detail my free score. Now that link is going to show me in detail everything from if your name is misspelled, if your date of birth is wrong, if you have an address that you haven't lived there in 20 years. You might have an address that you don't never lived there because guys, the credit bureaus make a lot of mistakes. If you have a common name like Rafael Gonzalez, let's just say, for example, very common name. Another Rafael's address could show up on your bureau. That's a problem. that could get you declined after we fix your credit. So we want to fix that as well. If you have anything negative, let's remove it. If you have too many inquiries, dealerships are known to run your credit 20, 30 times and get you the best deal, not caring about they dropping your score horrendously and stopping you from getting approved from anything else for the next 2 years. So we got to remove those inquiries as well.
Okay, awesome. So we have the link to get started, guys, for Noel. What is the cost for that to sign up in that product right there? Because I think
So I
there's
have, so I'm gonna give you guys both of the two products that we have, right? We have the standard credit restoration program, which takes anywhere from 2 to 5 cycles. What's a cycle? A cycle is 40 days. Why every 40 days? Because the bureaus are getting millions of letters a month. There is so many people working on their credit. 90% of America has some type of blemish on their credit. It's not a small amount. It's over 90%. So there's millions of letters getting there. Some people do it virtually. That's not the way I do it. The way that I do it works great. So we have the 2 to 5 rounds. Every round is 40 days. And what I mean by that, every 40 days, you will get an email from us letting you know, hey, here's your updated credit report. 6 accounts were deleted, 3 inquiries, and your name and addresses were fixed. And then they'll tell you this what's left. Or we got the rapid one, the turbo, the TransUnion sweep. A lot of people go for the TransUnion sweep. That one in less than 30 business days, your TransUnion is clean, guaranteed, or your money back. So a lot of people come to me for that one because in less than 30 days, I can help them get that capital they need if they need it now. And a lot of people need capital now. So that one, the way it works is in less than 30 business days, and it always happens. Everything is completely removed as negative. The credit score goes up as high as possible according to what you have left as positive. So let's say, for example, if you have 10 great accounts on there, even if they close, you're gonna go shoot up over the 700s. If you're gonna have only 3 or 4 accounts left and you're maxed out, you might just be in the 650s, but it's okay. If that's where it gets to, we can add you on an authorized trade line, which is something else to bump your score, which only works, guys, when your credit is completely clear. If people add trade lines and you don't have your credit completely clear, it's not going to do what it's supposed to do. So those are the two programs. The TransUnion sweep is 2,500, and that one, like I said, oh, let me finish explaining that one. In 30 days or less, TransUnion is done, and I usually take the person straight to get them the capital that they need or the vehicle that they need, right? Then the other two are still being done, but the other two are going to take the 2 to 5 cycles. And I say 2 to 5 cycles because I like looking like a hero, not a zero. I haven't had a client go to round 5 in a long time.
hmm. So what about the individuals that are on this call that already have a clean credit, like their credit score is great, they just didn't really know about business funding. What can they do? How can they go ahead and get started?
So what we could do with them is, I mean, if you could put up my email on there under
Mhm.
the link, and you guys can shoot me an email. Let me know a little bit about what's going on with your credit. You could even still fill out the link so I could personally see it, because sometimes people think that it's something and then it's something else. I see this a lot. You know, a lot of people don't know how to read a credit report. Many credit reports look different. So I always recommend to let me see all 3 bureaus for me to give you my real consultation, really what I see, what we could do. Um, I'm sorry, what was the question again, Eric?
So if they do have a good credit score and they just didn't know about business funding, how can they work with you
Okay.
so you can get them access to the business funding?
So I would like to see the credit. And after I see the credit, then I'm going to ask you a couple questions about if the credit is great and it's good, I'm going to ask you in what stage your business is in. If it's a new LLC or S Corp or C Corp, we're definitely going to need you to PG for it. And then just by looking at your credit, let's say, for example, you happen to have a 750 across the boards. You're under 30% utilization. We really want you to be under 10% because that really guarantees an approval. So let's say you are at 30. I would tell you, hey, can you pay it down a little bit? If you can't, okay, I'll put you through these banks. But if you could pay it down, I'm like, look, I could get you more money going this way. So that's what we could do for people that have good credit is just me looking at it and putting a game plan together to get you the capital that you need. If you need 20, 30, 40, 100,000.
Somebody said, "What's the link already? My credit is dying as we speak." I went ahead and shared the link, guys. I know you guys are interested in getting started. The My Free Score now, definitely take advantage of that because it's not like Credit Karma. If you guys have just been on Credit Karma and trust in that, then you know, you're
I just, again, today, I had a client tell me that their Credit Karma hasn't updated since 2023. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you're a 765 on my end. And then I send him the screenshot. He's like, I said, Credit Karma is free for a reason, guys. First of all, they show you two out of the three bureaus. They're also showing you a Vantage score, which is not the score that the banks really look at. They look at a FICO score, FICO 08, 9, or 10. And it's free because they're advertising for you to apply for credit cards, and
And
they
get
make their
transfer.
money that way. That's how they get paid. So Credit Karma is good to have only for one thing. I'm gonna tell you for what. If somebody took your information and you got good credit and you get a notification that there was an account open, a credit card or a loan, and you're like, I didn't do that. That's the only thing I use Credit Karma for, is for notifications.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get into questions. Adriana, go ahead.
Hey Eric, good evening, everyone. I have questions regarding two cases. It's not going to be regarding credit. Do you want me to email you separately, or can I ask the questions here?
Yes, just email me because today's topic is just business funding.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Brenda, go ahead.
My situation, I have great credit. However, because I leverage my surplus business so personally on my so much heavily until I because I'm still waiting on checks to be paid out. My credit slightly went down. I'm still in the 700s, but
Okay.
I need to get all this utilization off of my personal, and I tried to get a credit card. I tried to get a Chase credit card. I was denied for business. I applied for Wells Fargo. They denied me. However, Truist gave me a $15,000 credit card. So I'm trying to get that all that debt I got on my personal off my personal and put it
Yes.
on the business. I need help.
Okay.
I
So
still have great credit, but because
you
I'm
want to move
still
it
waiting to get
over.
paid out.
You want to move that money over, get it out of your personal name, get your credit score back up to where it was, and you not see that utilization hurting your personal credit.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm
So
so stressed about it because I had great credit and I'm
you
below
still, you,
750s.
no, Brenda, is it? Yeah, Brenda, you still have great credit. Don't be upset. You still have great credit. The only reason you're getting declined is because, what did I say in the beginning? Some of these commercial banks don't have manual underwriters. They use computers. So these computers, they see your utilization, they see the inquiries, and then it declines you. If you're still in the 700s and Truist, which is a very good bank, I love Truist, was able to give you, that was a business card they gave you, right?
No, it was a business. I made sure I got business.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you co-signed for your business. They pulled your Equifax credit report because I believe Truist pulls Equifax for business. For personal, they pull TransUnion. So now what you want to do is you definitely want to transfer over 15,000 right away. Max it out. Get 15,000 out of your personal into that business, right? Now, what we have to do is I got to look at your credit to see, what do you have? Do you have a mortgage? Have you had previous paid mortgages? Do you have any vehicles, any previous paid vehicles? How many cars do you have? How much do you owe? So then I could recommend you other banks like Truist to go ahead and co-sign and get another maybe 15 or 20,000. Because if you got a $15,000 business card, it's called, they what business credit does is they do credit mirroring. What that means is, if that's the card that you have, your next one's going to be around the same limit or if not more. So that's what we would do, is either A, I would look at your credit first and see if you need a trade line. You might not need a trade line. We might just need to tell you which banks to go to, because you don't want to keep applying if you don't know if they're going to approve you or not.
Yeah,
Chase
because
is
and
very different.
yeah, because of what happened. Oh God, I used to have unlimited with American Express. They brought me all the
They
way
cut it down.
down. I was so mad. I was so
Yes.
hurt.
So you want to know why that's happening? I'm gonna tell you why that's happening. There's too many scammers out here. Okay, so people think, and now especially with the deportation that's going on, not to get into politics, a lot of people are maxing out and leaving with the cash. So it's hurting us that are trying to grow a business here and have good credit and use it the right way. This is why things like that happen. Or they also see your utilization go up and they're like, you know what? Let's cut her down because she's just gonna keep going. Meanwhile, they don't know what you're doing. They don't know that you're growing a business. They don't know that you got money coming in the pipelines from surplus and you're gonna be able to pay that down later. They don't know that and they don't care. But now when you're with a credit union, you have a lot more flexibility. So to answer your question, I would need to see your credit. And then it's either going to be, hey, I'm going to point you in this direction. You're going to get funded through these banks for your business. Or, hey, Brenda, let's add 1 or 2 authorized trade lines to make it look like your utilization ain't that high. It raises your score back up. And then it slips through those commercial banks, the application, and approves you.
Okay, that works for me. All right. Oh, and
Don't
also,
worry.
can you
Don't
help
worry.
my daughter credit need to be fixed? Can you help that? Can you
Of
be able to
course.
help her?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
desperately.
Absolutely. Listen, I've seen them all. I've seen it. There's nothing that I haven't seen yet when it comes to people's bad credit. People just think it's that serious because they don't know what I know. You know, knowing what I know, like I said, I got bankrupt 3 times, and it, God forbid it had to happen again. I know how to start it all over again.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, Brenda.
All right. I see Albert. Go ahead.
Um, are there any income requirements as far as, going after business credit?
It all depends on what we're trying to get. There always is with almost any credit, but sometimes if your credit score is so good and you have a lot of history, it overlooks that. You understand? So, but
Mhm.
it really does. If you, it really affects the people that has light credit, meaning only a few accounts or new credit profile and stuff like that. Income is going to be a very big thing. But in a lot of cases, if your credit has, like I said, a lot of meat and potatoes, paid cars, paid houses, a lot of credit cards for more than 5 years, 7 years. I have people have credit cards for 30 years. Income is irrelevant. It just goes right
Okay.
through. It's called a pass-through program. Pass-through program to a bank means that the system on the underwriter saw so much good stuff that it didn't care about income. It just approved you.
Okay. One more quick thing. I've looked into this a few years ago, and I think the way the process worked in general, you have to start off with smaller trade lines, right? With maybe local. Uh,
I know what you're saying here.
yeah,
You're going with the net 30 accounts, building your business credit with net
yeah,
30, getting the staple,
yeah,
the
yeah.
and all the so that is still one of the ways to build business credit. It's just the long way to do it.
Okay.
It's the really long way. And when I mean long way is you're gonna be working on it for 6 months to a year, depending on the age of the business too. But it still is a way of doing it. Now I do a mixture of that. And then we also do a mixture of getting business trade lines because when you add a business trade line to your business, let's say you add a $30,000 credit card that has a 10-year age, you don't physically got the card, but it's showing that history on your credit,
Mhm.
you're off to the races.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome, Albert.
Awesome. Che, go ahead.
Hey, thank you, Eric. Noel, I just wanted to ask, what is the worst scenario that you've seen that you've helped somebody basically come from the dead to like uh where they're able to get all of these cars? I was just curious.
Me, me. Me and my wife. So losing in the 2008 crisis, whatever we want to call it. I lost a home, I lost 2 cards, I lost about $100,000 in credit cards, I lost a business. I tried to do a chapter 13. A chapter 13, for any of you that if you don't know, it's a repayment plan type of bankruptcy for 5 years, and you have a trustee that manages all your money. I tried that because I thought that was the way to save everything. I couldn't make those payments after a while. Did it again, refiled again, made some payments. I messed up again. And then I said, you know what? I had to do the big bad chapter 7 that they make it seem like it's the worst thing. And it wasn't. That was the one that worked for me. I was in the 400s. So now I have a bankruptcy, of foreclosures, 2 repossessions. It was about maybe 8 to 10 credit cards. And I don't even know how many inquiries. And I had to remove all of that to get myself to buy a house. And I did it. That's how I got into this business. And I bought a house. I did a first time buyers because a lot of people don't know that you could do a first time buyer over and over again. You just can't have a first time buyer's mortgage and get another one. But if you refinance this one, you can always do a first time buyers program again. So that's what happened. I wind up fixing my credit after my third bankruptcy. That's how I learned the business. And then I bought a house again in 2016 after the one we lost wasn't, by the time they took it, it was 2012. So 4 years later, I was already in a brand new home.
So it basically, are you saying that, and I know each situation is different, but someone that may be just down in the dumps. Generally, 3 to 4 years is the amount of time that they can get right back on their feet in the good graces of banks and other credit unions.
Yeah. So you don't have to wait that long with what we do here. Like let's just say, let's say you, and I'm not here to say, I'm not saying this is what you are, but let's say I run your credit and you're a 450 across the board and you got everything I just said that I had. And I'm let's say I'm desperate or I need money now. Like I needed money yesterday. And I meet myself. I meet the person that does this and they introduce me to these two programs. I'm gonna do the TransUnion sweep because I know in less than 30 business days my credit's gonna be great, at least on TransUnion, and I'm gonna be able to get at least one or two credit cards or a line of credit that's gonna get me above water, if that's what you're asking. So there really ain't, I mean, I've seen 350 and we fixed that credit. It's not your score. It's not how much you owe that's in the rears. It's how many accounts you have that are negative. That's the damage.
Thank you. And then one last question.
Go ahead.
I've heard somebody say if you had a Chase card on your personal side and let's say that defaulted, I asked that question a little bit earlier. Will they never approve you for a business if you get that taken care of?
No, they will. All right, so that's a very good question. So Chase, American Express, Navy Federal, and there's more, but I'm talking about the ones that I know for a fact that I went through. When I lost everything, I had those cards. I got them again. Why? Once I went through bankruptcy, now there's two ways to get them. I went through bankruptcy, the Chapter 7 told these banks, Mr. Verdejo, Noel does not owe you this money anymore. And once I got my credit score back up, in their systems, I was already deleted. I didn't owe them the money. They wrote it off. So I was reapproved years later and got everything again. Now, let's say you don't do a bankruptcy and you did have an account that I deleted, but you paid it off. Guess what? Now you're a 740. You could reapply. You're going to get it because you don't owe them the money. But if I fix your credit, and you're a 740, 750, 800 credit score, and you still owe that bank money, you're not going to get it. And that's why you won't get the business one either.
Got you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Van, go ahead.
Yes, I have an excellent credit score. My score is about 820,
Beautiful.
and I have two LLC.
Okay.
The real estate investment, I have about 12 years old, but I have no income on that.
Okay.
And I have an LLC for surplus fund as well, which is about 1 years old. Which one is better for me to get
The
the
older
SB?
one. The older one, the 12-year-old one, even if you don't have no income right now, that is
Mhm.
the one that I would jump all over. You said 12 years. The power of having a corporation open for 12 years is huge. Even if you don't have no business credit on it, we
Mm.
could get it on there and then you could take advantage of you yourself. From what you say, you could get big SBA loans. You could get a lot of things because your credit's already at 820. And I could, do you own a home by any chance?
No, I have no debt at all.
So are you at 820 because of your credit cards, or do you have paid off vehicles, or did you ever own a home?
I used to own a home, but I sold it, and I
Okay.
plan to build a new one. But the market is messed up, and I couldn't do it.
But that mortgage is probably still on your credit. It just says close.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so that is strong. An account that's keeping your credit so high because you had a mortgage, even though you didn't pay it off. Somebody you sold it. The banks don't know that. They don't know who paid it off. It makes you look like you paid it off. So
yeah.
that's why your credit is so strong. And having credit like that and having a 12-year-old business, you are a perfect client to get an SBA loan for. You're the perfect client from what you told me so far for that.
Oh, okay.
So you
Okay,
getting capital will be very easy for us to help you. Very easy.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Van. So I shared Noel's email in the chat, so definitely take advantage of that. All right. Emil, go ahead.
Yes, I was trying to find out, this is Annie Taylor. I was trying to find out about the grants
So
for a business for business. Would that be under the SBA or?
well, there's SBAs and there's also government grants through your local states and stuff like that. For that one, just email me your anybody that's interested in grants. What I would need from you guys is email me your full name, your state where you live, your phone number, and then I will send you back some information according to your state and stuff like that. If your credit is good. If your credit is not good, let's do the link and then you can send me the username and password and then also your name and phone number and stuff like that. But grants is all depending on the type of grant you're looking for. Like I said, there's local state grant, there's local grants, there's state grants, there's county grants, there's government grants, there's national grants. So it all depends.
And another question, I had started a wholesaling business in 2008.
Okay.
So I've had it that long, but my personal credit is not all that good. So what would I do about that?
We will have to work on your personal credit, which is what we do, which is the easiest thing for me to do. And then once that's good, we'll go ahead and start with the business because having a business since 2008, that's am I doing my math right? 17 years? Yes.
Yes, wholesaling, but
Yeah,
it didn't show a lot of volume and stuff like that, like the other lady was talking about.
yeah, you talk earnings or any money running through it, but that's okay.
Yes.
But that's okay because it's aged. It's aged, and we can help you with that. Like I said, with you, we will work on your personal credit. We will build it to where you could co-sign to get the Chase Ink card, to get the Sapphire business, or to get American Express. And now your business has those cards reporting, and then we'll do some of the one that the other gentleman asked about, the FedEx, the Staples cards. We'll do a couple of those also because those are very easy to get, and you want to have a mixture of all of that, and then we will shoot and get the big loan that you want if you want a massive big loan or whatever you wanted. But
Oh.
anybody, if you have any type of blemish on your personal credit, guys, these banks are really strict. You just saw, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, Brenda said she has over a 700 score and Chase and Wells Fargo turned her down, but Truist didn't. You see, so that's because they all have different underwriting guidelines. And the bigger the bank, like Chase is the oldest, biggest bank. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. It's the biggest, oldest bank. They're the one to decline people like Brenda with excellent credit. So we have to just, like I said, it's just everybody's credit is different. People think because they're married, oh, me and my wife, I'm a 400, so my wife's a 400. That's not true. You guys do not have the same credit. I've never met a couple that has been married for 20, 30, 40, or 5 years have the exact same credit. It doesn't work like that. You both have different credit. You both started your credit files at a different age, at a different year. You got different limits. It's always different. But to answer your question, your personal credit, we got to work on it first, and then we'll go attack and then build the business so you could do both.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Jerry, how you doing? Jerry third, go ahead. Oh,
I
you're
think you're muted.
muted, Jerry.
You're muted, Jerry. I can't hear him, Eric. Is he?
Yeah, Jerry, you're still muted. Yeah, it's still muted. I can see the red line through the microphone.
Yeah.
Once you figure that out, Jerry, we'll come back to you. Dennis, go ahead.
Oh, he
there-
figured it out. He figured it out.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Okay, sorry about that. How's it going?
Pretty good. Nice to meet you, Jerry.
Okay, pretty good, Noel. Just mentioned, I wondered if you could elaborate briefly on the opportunity that nav.com joining that gives you a couple of instant business lines.
Yes, they do. So you've been you pretty much you've been dealing with the website already to know that.
Right, for a little while.
So what I love about Nav is the website, the platform to learn how to build your business credit the right way. Is it the fastest? No, but I always recommend everybody to have that account. The business trade lines that you're talking about is the Nav checking account and the Nav credit card that it gives you a limit according to how much you have in your business accounts, correct?
Right. Also gives you a couple of quick business lines pretty fast, two instant lines.
Correct, correct. And do you know that those lines you can also have them on your personal credit?
Yeah, I did find that out. I
Yeah,
did find
that's
out
good.
a little bit. Yep.
So that's good. Keep doing what you're doing because a lot of people don't know about it. I log into MindNav every day for all my businesses, and I'm always checking on there. And I have everything linked up: my personal, my business, my Dun and Bradstreet, everything. And I follow every instruction that's on there to make sure I get everything right. Nav is the website. I mean, what I could tell you from now is since you have Nav, how many accounts do you have reporting, do you think, on your business?
I'll say I've got other ones aside from NAV though. I've got about 15 lines total across
Okay.
the board on each one of the. But what I like, what was nice about NAV is that it does report across the board those lines that I have with them.
And then do you know there's eCredible out there? There's other trade lines that you could get that you could put on there itself also. But it seems to me like you're doing the right way. Do you have all four business credit scores showing already?
Yes, yeah, across the board there.
And
Right.
then right above it, you should have your personal. If you link your personal on there too, it should show you one of your
Right.
personal. Okay. And it always shows you your dollar amount every day. It refreshes what it has on your business checking accounts that you synced in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really a nice.
Platform.
It's great.
It's
It's
just
a
a little,
great
it's
addition.
just a little expensive. I think it's like you're probably paying like 75 bucks, 79 bucks or something like that.
Yeah, around there, right
Yeah.
around there. I'm not exactly sure. It's right around there, though. I got several different accounts going on, but in the nav, within the nav spectrum,
What's your
it's
biggest
right
limit?
around there, like 75 bucks. So,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
right
what's your,
there, with there, I've got
well,
two.
period,
Well,
business card.
oh, just with business cards in general,
Yeah. What's your
95 right now,
9,500?
95,000
I can't, you
right
break,
now,
you have a total of 95,000?
95,000.
Oh, you,
No, 95,000. Yeah,
so
right
that's
now.
total. That's all your business credit cards.
Yes.
You're doing good. You're doing good. So that means your personal, how's your personal? Pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's doing pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're doing it the right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
You, you,
Yeah,
you,
so
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
you always can work at it though.
You're breaking in and out on my end.
Yeah, it's breaking
Can
up,
you
but
hear me okay?
yeah,
Now,
it's a little bit
Okay, sorry
better.
about that.
Guys, for those of
Yeah,
you who are in like Jerry's position where you do have, good personal and maybe you might even have 95,000 like Jerry, still get with Noel because he can get you guys even more business funding. There's even more ways to generate even more lines of credit and do it the correct way. All right, so we got a lot of hands that are raised. We've already gone over an hour. So let's go ahead and kind of blast through these questions. All right. So let's go ahead and start with Dennis.
Thank you. Two things. We have good credit. When we have one account frozen, which is TransUnion, and when we try to unfreeze it, it just runs and runs and runs and runs and runs, and we don't know what the problem is with the delay on that.
what do you mean runs? What do you define that?
Well, you ask it to unfreeze the account, and it does nothing. It just sits there. It doesn't do anything. And almost every time I go there, it takes forever for them to process anything.
You're telling me your TransUnion credit report does what again, sir? I'm sorry.
Well, right now it's frozen.
Okay,
All I
but if
do
you
is
unfreeze it, what happens if you unfreeze it?
nothing. It just sits there.
You mean
Doesn't-
your score sits there.
No, just the unfreeze never happens. It just sits there.
It's stuck on frozen.
Yes,
Okay, did you freeze it by mailing in a letter request or phone call or on the website?
on the website.
Okay, have you tried calling them?
No,
Give them a call, sir, because that's a TransUnion internal problem. Okay, so give them a call and tell them you're trying to unfreeze your credit report so you could go purchase something or get a credit card because while it's frozen, no one can run your credit. Well, that TransUnion, they can't run it because it's locked.
that's right. And I need to get that unlocked. The
Get
second
it
thing,
on, get it
second
unlocked,
thing, oh, go ahead.
and I'm sorry, get it unlocked and there's two things, guys. There's a freeze and there's a lock. Let me explain that real quick because you just brought up something that a lot of people don't know about. You could physically have a membership with TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. They have their own websites. I recommend it. You could physically go in there and unlock and lock a credit report. Then there's something called a security freeze, which you are letting them know that you want to put a freeze on your credit, that if anyone was to apply for anything, they need to call the number you put on the credit report, which is usually your cell phone number, right? That one right there, you have to call and get it unfrozen from the bureau and wait 24 to 48 hours to then apply for what you want. But if you do it on their websites, you control it yourself unless it gets stuck like this gentleman right here. Bill.
Okay,
Dennis.
that's my first issue. And then the second issue is I picked up a short-term loan from a firm company, and
Affirm.
they're just jerking me around and everybody around. And I don't know how to get out from underneath that. They locked my account, and I'm trying to pay off the loan, and I can't pay off the loan because that's the only ways that you have to have an open account that's unlocked in order to pay it off.
So a firm, first of all, only reports to experience for you guys to know. It doesn't report on all three bureaus. But a firm, if they closed you and you owe them a balance, again, Dennis, I would just give them a call because that bank wants their money. And if you're looking to pay for it, they're gonna take it from you. I'm thinking you might be having some issues on the computer maybe when you're signing in and stuff like that because the
No,
bank
it's not.
wants his money unless is it behind? Is it
No,
the
it's not. Well, it is behind because they didn't do the auto pay. I had it
so,
set up for auto pay.
yeah, and that happens a lot, guys. You got to be on top of your auto pay because if something slips, one late payment could drop you 50 to 80 points, and that hurts a lot. So, Dennis, I would give them a call ASAP and have them fix that situation. I'm pretty sure they will help you because they want to get the money they lent you.
Well, they don't because I have been on the phone with them numerous times and they will not respond. They always up the scale and try to get somebody else on there, and then they come back and they say, well, we need more ID and all that sort of stuff. I just want to pay it off.
More ID. So can it be that maybe there's a mix up with accounts?
No, only one account.
How
Never
much
used
do
it
you
before.
how much do you owe on it?
$3,000.
Oh my God. And they're going to destroy your credit if you don't pay that money because as they're not letting you pay it and another 30 days goes by, they're going to mark another late payment. And that's what you want to avoid. So, I mean, that's a very rare case, Dennis. I would try to call, email, something because someone there has to help you with this. If not, you're going to need somebody like me to delete it. But then if I delete the account, don't the 3,000 wasn't deleted. You still owe the 3,000 and you still got to pay it, but I could, so somehow, some way, if you don't get somebody in a firm to pick this up, 3 months from now, 4 months from now, you're going to be that much behind. It's going to get sold to a collection company. And then that collection company is going to want the money. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to put the collection on your credit. So now you got a firm hurting your credit and then a collection for the same amount. And you're trying to do the right thing by paying them. So I know it's difficult to be on the phone and keep calling and getting other people, but sometimes that is the only way to get that handled. Because if you don't have a way to log in and see the Affirm account and it collect a payment, the only person that's going to be able to help you is somebody over the phone. And unfortunately, a lot of these banks are outsourcing to other countries, and some of those people don't even know what they're really doing, unfortunately. But it's that, Dennis, you're gonna have to put some time into that and get them on the phone and give them their money. Reset up the auto payment, or pay it all off if you have it. If you don't have it and one of your credit reports is good, let's look at that credit report, get the money to pay it off. You got to get somebody on the phone to help you. It's the only way.
I have the
Dennis,
money right away and I can pay it off immediately. They just will
yeah.
not respond with calls.
Dennis, shoot me an email because you use that Affirm loan to pay for the 12-week program. So
Yeah,
shoot me an email and we can hop on a three-way call with them together. And maybe I can help you answer some questions on the phone and we can get to the bottom of it. So just shoot me an email.
thank
All
you. I
right,
will.
so yeah, no problem. We have Desmond, Anwar, and Billy, and then we'll finish things up with that. Go ahead, Desmond.
Okay, thank you. Quick question. Are the deletions off the credit, the personal credit permanent?
Yes.
Okay, and next question. You talked about the price for the TransUnion and deleting all of that very quickly and then working on the other was over the 2 to 5 cycles. What is the price for the other one where you do it?
Oh, I apologize. I forgot to say that. That one's 1500. So the base plan is 1500. The TransUnion sweep is 2500.
Okay, and that's the one that's 2 to 5 cycles, and each cycle can be like
Every cycle, you'll see something come off. You'll see a couple of accounts that come off, or maybe sometimes they all come off in 2 cycles. I can't make that promise. It's all the bureaus on how they do it. And just to answer a little bit more your question about if everything that's deleted comes back, would it come back? The answer is it will not come back, but it will come back if you don't pay it. So let me rewind a little bit. Any account that gets removed and deleted from your credit, guys, if there's a balance on there, there's a very high chance that one day they're gonna sell it to a collection company, and that collection company is gonna put it on your credit. So it doesn't mean that it's this account that I removed. It was that you never paid off what you owed, and they sold it. So what I tell everyone here, if any of you are gonna call me, hit me up for my services, remember this: anything I remove, you still have to pay. And what I tell my clients is get on the phone with these companies and offer them 50 cents on a dollar or less, because if it's already a collection, they bought it for pennies on the dollars. And you could work out a payment plan for 15, 20 bucks a month. It doesn't matter if it takes 5 years. You got them off your back and it can never get put back on your credit.
okay, perfect. When you work out the deal with them, do you like have to get it in writing and then
I like to get emails because collection companies, and I don't want to talk bad about them, but they're not the greatest companies in the world. You know, they'll call your mother and say that you owe them money. They'll call your neighbor. They'll call your client. You know, they get really grimy. Some of these collections. So I would get an email. I would say, hey, send me an email that this is the payment plan we're going to work on, and that after I'm finished paying, you're not going to put it on my credit as a collection. So yeah, I always want something because I'm not going to take their word for it.
okay, the email is perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, Billy, go ahead.
All right, hopefully you can hear me here. Thank you guys, Eric, Noel, putting this together. Noel, you kept talking about the business and existing business. Does it have to be like my surplus funds here is only 2 months old, but I
Okay.
have my LLC that I've had for years. So when you're saying the business, do you mean an existing LLC or the actual business that we're running now?
So that's a very good question. So you have two businesses basically. You have your LLC and you have your surplus fund business, correct?
Yeah, the LLC is just a corporation I own. There's no
Just a
business.
corporation that you have open, you never closed it, and it's still open, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what you could do is what I recommend is what's the name of your surplus business?
State auditors.
So you want state auditors, you said?
Correct.
You want to have state auditors, and what's the name of the main LLC?
After Rona.
Okay, so you want to have I just lost the name of your second company.
After state auditors underneath
Doing
LO
business
Rona.
as for your main business. You follow?
Okay.
You want that to be the doing business as. Your old business stays the name, but it's doing business now as the new business. Like that, we could get you business loans quicker and build your business credit with your old LLC, but it's really for your new company.
Correct. All
That's
right. And
the
then
loophole.
the second with the SBA loans, because that's what I'm looking at now. That is, what is it based on? Like,
So
because I don't have a
well, it
business yet.
depends.
Okay.
Which one are you looking at? Do you know which one you're looking at?
Which SBA loan?
Yes. Is it the 7A?
I mean, no, I don't know the difference. I mean, I saw 7A, but I don't know which one would be best for what I'm trying to do.
Oh, so tell me a little bit really quick what you're trying to do. What you're trying to get. How much you're trying to get.
Probably 100K.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 100K is not a lot. That's very reasonable to get from the SBA, especially with a 12-year-old business.
No, mine's not 12. Mine's probably 3 years. My LLC is probably 3 to 4 years old.
Okay, still it's over 24 months, so you're good.
Correct. Okay.
And how's your
Still,
personal?
personal's good over 700.
You're good to go. You're good to go. If there's no blemishes on your personal, oh, hold on a sec. And your business, your main business, your LLC is 3 to 4 years old, and you're doing new business under a new name. You just need to do that website that I said, nav.com, and
Okay.
put all that information in there. Answer every question. It's very easy. And once you answer every question, it's going to start pulling from other databases, government databases. I don't know where you guys are at, irs.gov or Sunbiz. If you're in Florida, it starts pulling everything in, Dun and Bradstreet, and then it just starts, you start seeing everything. And the gentleman, Jerry, I think he was, he would know what I'm talking about because he already did it. When I asked him if he had all 4 scores, that means he got everything filled out right, and it lets you know where you stand personally and business. So that's what I recommend for you to do, Billy, is to do that because you have 2 businesses. You could use the old EIN to get the SBA loan, and you're looking for 100 grand. 100 grand is a lot of money, but when it comes to the SBA, that's more than lower. That's more of their lower. That's like getting 10 grand through a personal bank with them. So you have everything there. You just got to put it together, and I can help you with that. Like I'm pretty sure he's gonna put my email multiple times out there, and I can help you with that and guide you with that and stuff like that. You're there. If you don't have nothing bad with your negative, and you have the businesses just like you said, it's just merging it together, and then from there applying.
Okay, now perfect. Yeah, I got paid off houses, paid off cars. So
Oh, you're solid then. You're solid.
okay, thank you. All right, we'll work together. Appreciate that.
You got it.
Awesome. Great questions, Billy. All right, Anwar, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Eric? How you doing? Um, you already pretty much answered every damn thing I needed to know. So I just, I'm going to go ahead and go with the email, and hopefully we can work together.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yep.
Can't wait.
All right. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for, hopping on this call, soaking up this knowledge. Noel, we definitely appreciate you providing your insight. And anybody that's ready to work, guys, I shared it in the Zoom chat and YouTube, but also I'll email the replay and it'll have Noel's contact information.
I just want to answer one more question I just saw come up. Somebody said something about a couples. Yes, $500 off if you're a couple.
Perfect. Awesome.
I
All
gotta
right,
go get my girlfriend.
There you go.